Hi everybody. Day 17, which I think is actually 18. I haven't uploaded the video for where I did the two videos on 16. I don't think I'm going to, and the reason being is that I'm just letting that one go away. I really want to bring it in the next couple of videos. I really want to put some time, effort, and energy into formulating them in a way that I feel like I have adequately captured what it is that I want to talk about. Making the improvements, doing everything full time is like, it's kind of a challenge, but hey, that's what I'm doing. I want to talk a little bit about my experience with watching like people like Gary Vaynerchuk, or Vaynerchuk, I think is how you pronounce his name. Yesterday I spent a lot of time watching a lot of his videos, and I think I talked about this a little bit in that video that I did yesterday. And something like, I couldn't sleep very well last night. I was up till about 3 a.m. and that just happened to be the time while inspiration was coming to me, and I wrote some things down. One of the things that came to me was this realization that I was really like, I was being kind of hard on myself about the quality of content. And because I started comparing myself to somebody like him, or even comparing myself to his methodology. And his whole thing is like, work your ass off, work to your dicks, like just work yourself crazy. Which I can get with that, like I respect that. And I think that I have really good work ethic. But the one thing that, like I really had to go through it is, that balance. Different people have different levels of balance. And I think that it's important to push ourselves and challenge ourselves and go beyond what we think that we can do. Because there is a fundamental reality, which is called like, I can. And I can't is like, I can't is like, unless you're physically impaired, it's so mostly irrelevant. Like it's not, like we're far more capable than what we think we are. The whole thing is like, do you want it or not? And for me, it's like that, do you want it is, it's like certain things just aren't for everybody, like that's why it's important to be connected to like why you're doing something. Because if it's not, like important enough to you that you would die for it, it's like not, you're not sourcing yourself from a deep enough place to be able to like pull something out that, is like extraordinary. And this doesn't even mean that I think that people need to be extraordinary. I just think that we could completely revolutionize and up our game from where we're currently at. Like where ordinary, like the par for ordinary life is like exponentially better. Some people like, I don't want to do what Gary Vaynerchuk is doing. Not at that scale. It just doesn't, especially like not right now. It just doesn't feel like, yeah, I want to be, supporting people and like being fulfilled, but that dude's like, his schedule's booked out for like 4 years, I don't really want that kind of responsibility right now. And I do want like a piece, like I want my level, like I want to step up, and then I want my level above where I'm at. But it's like this whole quantity thing. It's like I would rather be producing quality than quantity, even though that's kind of opposite to what I'm doing right now. Like I have to put out the quantity first and then, you know, edify and deal with it to up the quality. Some people just want to be gardeners, you know? Some people want to be farmers. And I think that's awesome. And I think it's important, and I think it's necessary. Like somebody's got to grow the food. Somebody's got to, you know, people got to eat. You know, it's like, this isn't about everybody become a millionaire. You know, if you can be a farmer and be a millionaire, I think that would be awesome too. Same as like if you're a teacher. But the hard work thing, it's like, you know, it has to be equally balanced with rest and rejuvenation. Like for me, you know, not everybody's path is like work your ass off. Hard work, I think, is essential. You know, really putting in the time and, you know, putting in the effort. But it's like, how do you adjust your life such that the work that you're putting in is paying off in some way? You know, like even if it's a year down the road, 2 years down the road, 5 years down the road, you know, or tomorrow, it's like, that to me is like the body phase, you know, that's the chop wood, carry water. There's just certain maintenance that has to be done. And I think that it would be awesome too, like in terms of community, where everybody, like, you know, like right now, like doing these videos, I'm not into editing videos. I think I've edited maybe one video in my life that wasn't, you know, just like a filter system that I could use on Instagram. You know, so eventually, like once I get like a flow down and get a routine down, like somebody that's into editing videos, I would much rather pay them to do that than to do it myself, because that's not where I shine. That's not like, you know, that's not what I'm up to. But right now I have to do it, or at least I'm not even really doing it yet, but eventually I'll be doing it. I'm going to turn this a little bit. Because it just, you know, like right now I got to do most of the stuff. But I think it would be way cooler and like a way better world to live in, where people are just doing what they love to do. Like what they're moved by, you know, what they're inspired by, what they're challenged by, but like what they want to be challenged by. Yeah, so that balance, you know, that balance is important. I really got to like rest and rejuvenate last night, which is not always easy for me to do. I'm typically more prone to action and doing things rather than just like sitting back, but that sitting back is like crucial to my like mental, physical, emotional health. Just like sitting quietly. You know, when I was in Vipassana, and this is something that I want to do a little bit more, I want to start introducing myself. Instead of just my thoughts, like introduce like my story. Because I think that storytelling is huge. We're all telling stories. We're all telling, you know, our past is largely a story. It exists only in our imagination. It exists in our mind. It doesn't actually exist in reality. And so like right now you could literally walk away from this and then go do and be anyone that you wanted to be. Like literally. I know, I've done it. There is backlash, there's repercussions, there's consequences and all that, but just like anything else, you know, we're only ever dealing with the consequences of our choices. but that storytelling, just like giving, like, who am I? Who have I been? Where do I come from? One of the things that I was going to say was that my experience at the 10-day Vipassana retreat, one of the things that they talk about is like a 10-day silent meditation retreat where, like, you really don't even make eye contact with another human being for 10 days, no talking. And, obviously, like, this is stuff that people are taking on, it's not like people are like, all right, we're all in agreement. And it was seriously one of the most challenging and rewarding experiences of my life. So difficult psychologically, just to sit in silence and be with yourself and experience all the narratives that we're running around with constantly. Like, for some of you that probably sounds like hell, to just like sit and be with the incessant sort of churning of the egoic mind. And that's kind of like what my day was like yesterday. It was just a sitting back and just being with myself, is really important. And I feel a lot better today, even though it was like not fun yesterday. Because what I'm dealing with right now is I'm dealing with a lot of boredom, because in those moments, the way that I would entertain myself would be to, have a couple beers, hang out with my friends on a porch, or like on a patio, and, just like kill time that way. But a couple of my friends are out of town. Megan's out of town, so my social circle, my familiarity is disrupted a little bit, which is good. And it's actually allowing me to connect with people that, that sometimes like I just don't have time for. And not that I don't have time for, it's just that I'm already doing other things that just usually get my attention. I can make time, but I just don't. So it's nice to be like reconnecting, reestablishing these relationships, investing in them. But the main one, the number one that I'm doing right now is myself. So all this free time, I'm looking to like get more creative. Yeah, because I don't know what to do with myself sometimes, just like sitting around. My house is like immaculately clean. Most of my fermentation stuff is kind of at a standstill right now because I reduced back the quantity, because I seriously don't have any more room in my refrigerator to put bottles. Like, I only have the top shelf that has food, and the rest of my refrigerator is filled with bottles of kombucha or kefir. There's so much going on there. So yeah, I'm looking to be more creative. This will be a good time for me to start pulling out some more content, Right now it's just dialogue and conversation. So yeah, I think that's it. That's documenting my experience, following the advice of the people before me. Here's the thing too, like, there is an amazing life available. People are doing it, and I want to give it my best shot at that. and I want to support people that are up to the same. Thanks for watching. Yeah, I'd really appreciate it if you tagged a friend and just like had them subscribe. You know, if there's a video that you feel like has been worthy. I know that I'm just talking about myself a lot. Believe me, I'm as tired of that as probably, well, maybe some of you are. I don't know. I don't know what you guys' experience is. But yeah, I'd really appreciate it. And thank you to all the people who have subscribed. And if you're watching these, it really means a lot to me. You know, because I'm like sharing myself. So thanks for listening. Have a wonderful evening. Peace.